Alright, welcome guys. Thought I'd open up this video by introducing myself. I am Grimoren. I know this face doesn't really do anything for anybody, except for Galv, which for some reason likes the sound of my voice. But today I'm going to do my best to explain heroes and their skills. And the reason I'm trying to do this is because it confuses me a bit, and any information I had came from YouTube, and the explanation videos that popped up on like the first 10 pages were not actual explanations. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to be running through the heroes and the skills themselves. I will not be explaining all of the heroes because there's some heroes that I just don't have. I'm going to do a basic explanation of heroes and how they improve or what they work on and what they work on and all of that. So let's just jump over to the game and I will do my best to explain. There's a whole lot of information in this game that just cannot be explained properly. And I know that there's some people like me who learn through visual representation or hands-on. So having a actual thing you can look at right there and follow along with helps greatly in learning everything. Except for physics, because if you do hands-on experience with a lot of things that apply to physics, you're probably not going to survive. But anyways, we're going to go through this little hero button. And for the sake of my eyesight, I'm going to put them on my actual reading glasses, my prescription glasses here. So let's just jump right in to the game. Okay, so the game will literally tell you all about your heroes, the best it can. And the reason I say the best it can is because for the most part there's going to be some confusion. Let's start with Cipher. Princess, she's a mafia. Mafia counters fanatics, but is countered by Federal Guard. So she can fight. Let me see if I got that right. Yeah, Mafia heroes excel at dealing with fanatics. This little diagram here will pretty much tell you point blank the factions and who they are good against. So fanatics will counter Federal Guard, but fanatics themselves are countered by Mafia. So if you got someone using a crap ton of fanatics against you, send a bunch of Mafia against them and see what happens. Because their skills and everything, like I said, to the best of my ability, because I'm still learning this game like everybody else. The only reason I'm actually doing this explanation is because it irritated me that I couldn't find a decent explanation. So I'm doing my best on this one. Fanatics counters Federal Guard. Federal Guard does pretty well against Mafia. Mafia does pretty well against fanatics. The best way to figure out what they're bad against is to reverse this image. So fanatics are bad against Mafia, Mafia is bad against Federal Guard, and Federal Guard is bad against fanatics. That's the only thing you need to do to figure out the factions and what they are good against and what they're bad against. That's pretty much the explanation right there. We're starting off with a hero that I despise, and I despise her for one specific reason. There is no freaking option to level her up using medals that you have in your inventory. You literally have to spend money, real world money, to level her up. And I've done that a couple times just because it irritated me that I kept hitting her level cap and could not get her up in level. So we're starting with May, the catgirl. She's a fanatic. I've already showed that image. And she does special hero training. She excels greatly in boosting hero XP gains, granting more special hero training chances, and increasing the number of deployable heroes for the training. After I got her, I gained a space for this. See, let's go into detail here. I gained an extra space. You do not have to have her deployed for that. Let's say I want to... I'm not going to run through this entire thing. I'll do another explanation on this so that I can better explain the ways to train, because my normal way of doing this is to just do it auto, because I just got tired of freaking doing it. But yeah, we're gonna, yes. And there shouldn't be a penalty. Nope, there's no penalty. So you can go back to it and join up. I don't know what happened there. But going back to the heroes. May. Okay, so the damage, the factors is what confused me on this and what led me to even begin to think about doing a proper explanation and discovering that YouTube was no help whatsoever. So May's first skill is an active skill. It is always active. There is nothing that triggers it. It's just active, and it deals skill damage to the target with a damage factor of 500. That's the part that confused me at first. Reduces enemy attack by 5% and defense by 5% for 3 seconds. The damage factor is actually the damage that is being applied. It's point blank right there, damage being applied. So for every time that increases and this skill is activated, every time May decides to sit there and use the skill, damage factor of 500. That's the amount of damage that is given to the enemy. The troop attack increase is constant after this. So for 3 seconds of this skill's activation, the troop attack and defense of the base stats of your troops, not with anything that has research tied to it, just the base stats of themselves, are increased per defense-wise and attack-wise by 5%. So say your troops have a... Let's actually go look at that. Alright, Dwayne, you're in the way. Say your troops have the attack of 50. Okay, so what's 5% of 50? Let's ask. Let's ask the professional calculator. 50 multiplied by 0.05. Anything with a percentage, you multiply it by moving to the decimal point 2 spaces to the left. So you're essentially going to make the percentage of whatever it says, the number, add a 0. If it's a single digit number, add a 0, put a decimal. So 50 times 0.05. That's 0.06, then I type 0.05. That's an increase of 2.5, attack and defense. Alright, cool. Like I said, it's always the base stat. Always the base stat. And to upgrade this, to get it up to the next level, you need to go down and increase this rank, which is why I hate May. Because anytime I want to do anything to increase her stats, I have to spend real world money. Irritates the crap out of me. Cipher, I got ahead of myself here. May has a universal effect skill called Trainer, able to deploy one more hero for each special hero training and increase hero XP gain by 50%. Special hero training is this, which is the slot that I showed you I gained after getting her leveled up. I clicked the wrong hero. So the XP that you gain per special hero training, every time you do it, you gain an increase by the number you gain multiplied by the 50% or 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever it is. And how do we figure out percentages? We move the decimal point 2 spaces and multiply by whatever number we have. That finds us our increase. To find the actual number, you would move the decimal points in the percentage, then add a 1 to the front of it. So you still have a whole number, but now you have an increase in percentage combined to that. What that does is it takes the whole number itself and merely just adds on the difference in percentage. There's your answer. As a whole, you have your actual number plus your increase in one number. I don't know why I did that. So, okay. The next skill is agility. It's a passive skill, meaning it is constantly active. 100% always there. When fighting Martian creatures, all damage dealt is increased by 15%. When jungle... Yeah. So pretty much, when she's in the tank, and you're out on the world map, fighting, and your troops do, let's say, 500 damage. What's 500? 500... times, let's use the equation to do the whole number tied into the answer, times 1.5. That's the 100% of our number that we're multiplying by, adding on the 15% increase. So I said this wrong. 1.15, adding on the 15% increase, 575. So 500 was our attack. The 75 is the increase in percentage. And to upgrade this skill, upgrade conditions, our hero rank up to level Lieutenant Colonel. Rank Lieutenant Colonel. I can't talk. Formal Declaration of War, universal effect skill. Grants one more chance to special hero training per day and increases hero XP gains by 50%. Didn't I already just show that? Okay, so she has 2 skills that increase hero XP gains. But this skill focuses on gaining one more chance for his special hero training. So my special hero training says 3. That 4th number is because of May. So she has 2 sets of skills. She has 2 skills. I don't know why I did that. She has 2 skills that increase hero XP. And increase hero XP gains by 50%. So effectively, she's increasing percentages again. Percentages. This is what confused me in the beginning. So we'll go back and effectively she's increasing it by 100%. Because if I have an increase of 100, if I have a XP gain of 100 and she increases it once by 50%, there's 50. And then increases it again by 50%, there's 100. So in total, there's 200 XP that I gained. That's actually pretty sweet. Master Thief with expertise. You have to get rank General to activate this skill. Merge with Shadow further increases our damage dealt by 10% and further reduces our damage taken by 10% for 3 seconds. So once this skill's activated in combat, you have a 10% increase for 3 seconds of reducing your damage and of your damage taken as well. Increases damage dealt. So the damage you give is increased by 10%. The damage you take is decreased by 10%. So if you have a damage that you give being 100, you have 110 damage that you give out. If you have a damage of 200 that you receive, you have a 180 damage that you receive in actuality because of her skill. I don't know if this is a constantly active skill or if it's a need to be active skill, because it says with expertise. I don't know if it's active or just there all the time. Okay, so that's May, the cat girl that irritates the crap out of me. Cipher is a mafia. Again, we have this hero faction symbol. Mafia is good against fanatics. Fanatics are good against Federal Guard. Federal Guard are good against Mafia. Again, to find out which ones these are bad at, just reverse this image. So Mafia is bad at Federal Guard. Federal Guard is bad against Fanatics. And Fanatics are bad against Mafia. That's all you need to do for that. Cipher is a princess. For some reason, that qualifies as a princess these days. Don't ask me, I grew up in an old-fashioned way, so I don't know. Cipher excels in saving your marching energy, accelerating energy restoration, and enabling you to get abundant energy for free every day. I love this hero because of that reason only. She decreases my energy use. Freaking awesome. I'll explain why. Fatal Beauty active skill. Deals skill damage to the target, damage factor of 550. The factor, again, is the one thing that confused me, led me to make this video. So every time this skill comes into play in combat, you dish out 550. My assumption. I tried testing this out, I really did. I don't know what's up. Again, to upgrade, you have to get hero rank up to a certain thing. So if I wanted to upgrade to the 600, I have to upgrade to Colonel. I will point out that she's actually easier to upgrade than May because I can use the default golden medal, the orange hero medal. Alright, Princess's Gift, Universal Effect Skill, gets 150 energy free per day. I like this. For every day that you log in, you should be able to click your little energy bar, that blue bar up at the top of your screen, and May will give you the option to claim something from her. It's a gift. You hit the claim button and she gives you a set amount of energy. So if you've got her leveled up to a certain point, you could get 50 energy, 70 energy, 90 energy, all the way up to 300. My current rank now with Lieutenant Colonel, I have 150 energy she gives me every day. Concentrated Fire passive skill. Attack of troops led by the hero increased by 6%. This is a passive skill, meaning it is active 100% all the time. So my attack is 50 from one of my troops. 50 times 0.06. That's how we find out percentages. Move the decimal point 2 spaces to the left. Do your calculation. So that would be a number 3 increase. So that makes it 53 because I have a damage of 50. So there's 53 damage that I dish out with her commanding the troops. Autolock Universal Effect Skill reduces the hero's energy consumption by 2 points when attacking pirates and sandworms, and increases energy restoration speed by 7%. This is a skill that I like. So when you go out onto the map and you go and find a Sandlord, your energy might say -10 because it's going to take 10 energy from you. My skill, however, with her in command, says -8. I'm able to do more attacks because of her. So for every every 4 attacks on something I do with her in the squad, I'm able to do another attack because she saved me energy. She's only making it so that I use 8 of my actual energy. She's a great hero to have when you're out attacking Mars creatures. And because I have her, my energy restoration is increased. See, look at this. I can claim this button. She gives me energy. I love it. That's my Discord, by the way, for anybody who wants to freeze it and contact me. I will probably, since I'm uploading this to YouTube, block you if you start doing weird stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and claim these because I don't like logging in and finding a whole bunch of them to claim. Especially in our alliance, we got to level 13 on gifts way too fast, in my opinion. We did not get time to enjoy it. Alright, so back to heroes. Let's go with Phoebe. Phoebe is another one that I absolutely love. And again, for one reason. Here's that little thing again. This hero excels at speeding up construction, and holy crap, she does. Another hero that irritates me is Phoebe, because I don't have anything to use with her. I should really show her more love. I really, really should. Active skill, Burst of Energy. Performs a quick heal, heals lightly wounded units, healing factor 400. Let me explain this one because it's the easiest one I can figure out to explain factors. Okay, so I kept my main tank at home for this one. Healing factor of 400. This is important. I am going to purposely. Get back there. Okay. Drop this down to 400. I so wish I could use my... Oh, wait, I can do this. I'm going to purposely drop it down to 400. And we're going to see what the flip happens. March. And we are going to wait the 6 minutes. We're just going to wait. I just like when they do that because I can't repay everybody that sends me stuff. Big spender, Galvarium. Yeah. Okay, actually, we're only going to be waiting the 2 minutes and whatever seconds. So we're still waiting 1 minute, 20 seconds, because I will get a report, and I will be able to show you what the flip is going on. No, we still have to wait on the troops to return so that I can heal, if I do have any troops to heal. This is a bad habit, by the way. I don't recommend doing it. I just don't. It's got a nice beat. I'm doing that well with only 400 troops. Bye. Okay, so that still doesn't make sense to me. I had 400 troops in that, so how the flip? Add 401 lightly injured with 1 to heal. They will recover automatically when returning to city. So, if I got rid of Stupid. Was it Phoebe? What Phoebe? Yeah, if I got rid of her, what would happen to the 400? Would they become seriously injured? Or would they still remain lightly injured? Let's find out. Once again, I am going to edit. I am going to take her out. I am going to add a useless freaking hero, in my opinion. And I'm going to drop this down to 400 again. March. While we wait, I'm actually going to do something. So freaking hard. Gold mine. You know what? I'll use one of my skills, or one of my attempts to actually try my hand at this. You. This is a terrible idea. It was a terrible idea. I'm gonna attack that. Fight. I'm tired. I should get more sleep. Eva, tell me something good, Eva. And now that base expansion is over, because we're on the server, this server versus server, I'm actually going to focus on my research again. Search. Good shot. True attack. See yourselves. March speed. Heck yeah. Okay, Okay, so the battle report on that one still shows 400 troops dead. Lightly injured, 400. Look at that. Didn't change anything. So what the heck actually does Phoebe do? Let's attack something I know we cannot win against. Not another player. Without Phoebe, we're gonna attack the same one. With all of the troops. And see what happens. Trying to remember something that I actually do get damaged troops on, but I don't remember what it is. How many was that? Like 12? Just in the last 20 minutes? Imagine how many we get when it's 24 hours later. This is important information. What I really want to say is kind of insulting to the females, so no. Ew. Let's go back to the world. If I had the ship that pops up here that I could attack, I could show it off, because I know I get wounded from that one. actually did happen. It was freaking hilarious. She did not comment after. She did not chat me up afterwards. Okay, so let's go to the report. They killed 436. Still lightly injured. Nothing seriously injured. So I can't really show off what the flip she actually does. Why did I open this? I had a thought and I was gonna open and show it, but I don't remember what it was. I try to make these explanation videos quick and to the point, but I also like to be accurate in how I explain things. It doesn't always work. So going back to the heroes on freaking Phoebe, I'm just gonna assume that up to 400 troops of seriously injured of lightly injured troops, she heals them and puts them back in battle. And if that's actually the case, combat log. It will literally tell you what is initiated. So, Merge of Shadow is initiated against the pirates, lowering their attack and defense by 5%. Perfect Crime was initiated. Initiated Bodyguard, which is another skill, saw damage dealt in combat plus 4%. Because of Perfect Crime, my troops' attack and defense increased by 6%. Perfect Crime. Perfect Crime. Perfect Crime. Initiated the Godfather. Another skill. Okay, so Cipher's ability came into play, Fatal Beauty. Godfather, Perfect Crime. Attack, counterattack, counterattack. Don't know. Okay, so burst of energy. Still don't know. Pre-stretching, wonderful ideas, faster building. But we know that in combat, Fatal Beauty does a damage factor of 500, so it's a 550. So every time it came into play in the combat log, let's watch. So in that fight, her skill was never actually initiated for healing. I have no idea how to show it off because I don't get anything seriously injured. Don't ask me, I guess. But her skill is supposed to heal lightly injured troops. The problem is when for the actual skill, those lightly injured troops get healed automatically upon return to your city. So I don't know. I assume she does it in combat up to 400 troops. I can't really say for certain. I know that she heals them. I don't know if it's returning to the city or if it's in combat, because I have nothing to show that she's done it in combat ever. Another skill that I love about her is universal effect skill, free construction. It's constantly in effect. Every time you're upgrading a building, she will literally pop up with her little emblem on that building and say, hey, you want to finish this construction? 60 minutes. Right now, because of her, in combination with these buildings, I am able to literally click a button. I'm going to rush this one, but say it drops down to 1 minute, 54 minutes. The reason it is at 1 minute, 54 minutes, or 1 hour, 54 minutes, is because of my HQ talents, my hero, which is Phoebe, and my consoles. It will literally tell you. That explanation on that one is pretty straightforward. Another one is Wonderful Ideas, passive skill. Each normal attack has a 20% chance to deal 1 extra damage to the enemy with a damage factor of 100. The damage factor of 100 always stays the same on this one. The trigger chance for that is 20% currently. So each time an attack happens, each time a normal attack happens, there's 1 extra damage to the enemy, meaning, best guess, because I do not see anything in there that says 1%, 1 extra bit of damage is occurring. I have things that say 60% of 60 extra damage is occurring, 80 extra percent or 80 extra damage is occurring. So I'm assuming with hers, the damage factor being 100, it's 100 extra damage added on to the actual base attack of your troops doing damage. So for every troop that's still in combat, you get an extra 100 attack. I'm assuming that's the case, but if that really was the case, for every troop, I'm assuming since she's a federal guard, it's per her troop type. So yeah, we're just gonna go with for every time her troop type attacks, it's an extra 100 attack added on to the base stat. So let's see. Let's see if I can find somewhere where it actually shows it instead of me just saying it. That's kind of depressing description. That's depressing. If I say it, I know I'm going to get it wrong, because it's the one thing about heroes and compared to troops that I get confused on. I do know that fanatics take command of one type of troop, specifically in favor, and the other factions as well take on other troop types. So for the three factions, we have the tank plant, the gear factory, and the aircraft factory. So heroes actually, per their thing, I assume Mafia takes on the infantry, which is the gear factory troops. The fanatics, I think, take on aircraft. So they lead aircraft, preferably. I don't know. And then Federal Guard takes on the tanks, takes lead of the tanks. But now that I say it, it sounds wrong. Honestly, I don't know. Alright, so faster building, universal effect skill. This goes into why I like her. She increases construction speed by 20% currently. This is constantly in effect. So because of, where is it, this button? My construction speed being 130, it's technologies. My research is increasing it by 70. My heroes, Phoebe, is increasing it by 20. VIP status increases by 5, and other increases by 35%. There's a lot of things tied in that could possibly be affecting construction speed. It's a good idea to play around, figure out what's up, and all of that. I won, okay. You put me up against somebody in my freaking clan alliance. That's awesome. Let's see if based on this I can show off what? Does any of them have Phoebe? You have Phoebe. Expand all, and I cannot because nothing happened. Combat log. Collapse all. Expand. Nothing happened. Are you kidding me? Did you go into that fight with literally nothing? How did that even happen? What? Whatever. Okay. So back to the explanation at hand. Not you. I don't like you. Lullaby with expertise. I do not have this unlocked. Skill burst of energies healing effects increased by 100% and then reduces enemy attack by 10% for 3 seconds. This I can easily explain. This increases burst of energies healing effects by 100%. So burst of energy itself has a healing factor of 400. So that's increased by 100%, which means 800 troops are healed instead of the 400. The other part of this Reduces enemy attack by 10% for 3 seconds. Every time this is activated in combat, you have a 3-second duration where every bit of damage coming to you is decreased by 3 seconds. So if you have an attack that's incoming at 100 points of damage, it drops down to 97%. 97. It's the actual number is 97 because you lose 3 points, 3%. So there's 97 because 3% out of 100 is 97, or is 3, which puts it down to 97 damage. And that's Phoebe, Federal Guard, construct. We're gonna go to Dwayne. Deal skill damage to the target. Damage factor 450. Opens up an energy shield, absorbing massive damage for our side for the next 3 seconds. The shield factor itself is 180%. So, massive damage absorbed for the next 3 seconds. If you have 500 damage coming in, the shield itself for 3 seconds damages 180% of that. This is where it gets even more confusing, because if you're absorbing 180% of damage of the 500 damage, that 100% says that you nullified all of the damage. You didn't. What you're nullifying is essentially, in this, because I think the equation does it this way on Dwayne's skill. I think the equation is different for him. So instead of it actually being 180, we're going to move the decimal point 2 spaces again. 1.8%. I'm going to explain this in 2 ways because I think one is correct, the other I don't know. That 1.8% of damage absorbed seems a little unfair. Seems kind of stupid, actually. So I don't think that's the reason that it says 180%. What I think is actually happening is the shield itself it's difficult to explain what I think is going on. So while I try to explain in my head in proper words, let's explain the first part. Deals skill damage to the target with a damage factor of 450. So every time this skill is activated and you see the shield pop up, you're increasing your damage output by 450. So you should do extra damage for the 3 seconds, 450 as damage output increase. Back to the 180%. There is no way you can absorb 180%. Because that means you not only nullified the damage, you sent it back. So if that's the case, Dwayne is taking in damage and reflecting it. That's my best guess on that. This is why factors when it comes to percentages is confusing, because the game does not give you an explanation. Even if you look at the combat logs and say what the heck is going on and try to compare it to moments where the skill is not activated versus the skill is activated, it doesn't make sense. I would love it if somebody commented on this video, said, hey, here, this is the actual explanation. I could just start directing people to the better explanation, but because I am unable to find that explanation, I'm making this video. And as always, to increase the factor to the next point, you have to upgrade to whatever rank it tells you to upgrade to. Legion Mercenary is a universal effect skill that I absolutely love, by the way. Every day you can recruit 50 mercenaries for free in the Gear Factory, Tank Plant, and Aircraft Factory respectively. Mercenaries level is consistent with your training facility's highest unit level unlocked. So if you have a level 4 troop that you're able to produce in any of your factories for troop training, you get the whatever number it says on the screen for Dwayne's skill that you have unlocked. So if you have 30, you gain 30 troops. If you have 60, you gain 60 troops. For 3 buildings. So if you gain 30, there's 90 troops. If you gain 60, there's 180 troops. I gain 150 troops total. The thing about his troops is, where our troops are outlined by a certain brass or copper color, his is outlined in silver. So it will literally tell you when you're selecting troops, which one are his and which one are yours. So if you want to go out and, you know, use his troops in favor of your own so that when you lose them, you're not really losing anything, I'm all for it. Go for it. Super batteries, active skill. Shield effects provided by Eames shield offer 8% increased damage to our side. Okay, so the shield, when activated, that he gives, I said, pops up a shield factor and increases damage factor. So for when this skill is active, for the base damage stat of your troops that you deal out, you increase that by 8%. So if your troops are dealing out 150 damage, multiply that by 0.08. The answer to that is your increase. If you multiplied that number by 1.08, that's your actual output when the skill is active. I'm not telling you the answer to this one because I want you guys to go in, do the calculations, play around with troops, figure out what's best for you. And as always, upgrade conditions, hero rank up to major. To get to the 10%, you need to reach rank major. Federation Special Approval, Universal Effect Skill, extends unit training cap of Gear Factory, Tank Plant, and Aircraft Factory by 16 respectively, and reduces coin consumption for units training by 4%. I actually didn't know the coin consumption thing until I clicked this button and with the camera rolling. The unit training cap I did know about. It's actually pretty good because even with you leveling up your buildings, you only gain a certain cap increase. With him, you have a nice big bump in training capacity. The unit coin consumption, it's nice because if I use 116 coins to train all of the troops that I can at once, he lowers it by 4%. Again, multiply whatever your cost is by 0.04. That's your reduction. Multiply your total coin cost by 0.104. That's your total coin spent. The thing is, this one's difficult to calculate because it does not tell you your actual coin cost until you do calculations to figure out what the actual troops are going to cost you in training, because when you go in to train the actual troops, this is already in effect. The 4% is already in effect, so it's going to show you the actual gold that you need to spend, not the base amount of gold that you need to spend. So you need to go in and figure out how much your troops cost themselves if you want to do a proper calculation. If not, just hit the spend your money button. Sophisticated weapons, defensive troops led by the hero increased by 20%. This is an active skill. It's active 100%. With expertise, so say my defense is 50. It's increased by 5 because of the percentage. 55 defense. Dwayne is an awesome hero to have. I put him in my tank too, mostly because I like the other heroes and I want him to lead the tank too. I will be pointing out something about stars and rank and starring up heroes. So stay tuned for that. Phoenix, Joker, he's a siege. Anything that says siege is attacking other bases. So if you have technology that says siege combat, it's a dealing in attacking bases or defending your own city. Leadership. This hero spell excels in boosting attributes of heroes with the same faction. If you put other mafias in with him, he increases attributes of heroes. He increases some of their attributes. And what I think that means is hero attack, hero defense, and maximum units led by heroes. I don't see the actual maximum units being affected. I really just see the hero attack and the hero defense being affected. I've not really played around with it and see what he actually does. He's in my tank 1. I kind of just send my tank out and let it do its thing. The thing that gets confusing with him is he's got 3 for this first skill. Perfect Crime. Active skill, deals skill damage to the target, damage factor of 680. Attack of troops led by the hero increases by 6% and defense by 6% for 3 seconds. So we've already gone over this percentage increase for attack and defense. Every time this skill is activated, your defenses go up by 6%. We've already gone over the damage factor. Every time this skill is active, you have a damage factor of 680. That's 680 sent towards your enemy right then and there. Troops damage dealt is increased by 4% during siege attacks. Wreck It All passive skill. Siege attacks is the important wording here. If you're attacking a city or defending your city, that is a siege attack. It's a structure. I do not know if it applies to ruins. Technically it's a structure, but I don't know if it counts as a siege attack. It'd be pretty nice if it did to have this attack attribute, the skill in effect for attacking an occupied ruin or astral wonder. I'm hoping it is actually in effect, but I think it comes into effect when attacking other cities, other bases, other alliance structures. So every time this skill is in effect, it increases damage dealt by 4%. So if you have a damage increase of 50, do the calculation, multiply the 50 by 0.04, there's your answer. And as always, upgrade conditions, hero rank up to major, awesome. Faction calibration passive skill. Each Mafia hero in the troop increases a troop's attack by 2% and defense by 2%. There it is. You know that leadership thing I pointed out? That's it right there. That is the skill. Troop attack is increased by 2%, troop defense 2%. For every Mafia hero, so if you've got 5 Mafia heroes, there's 10% of increase of troop attack and defense right there. However, does Phoenix himself count? Does Phoenix count himself, or he's just the guy with the skill? Never know. This game does weird things, has weird rules, so it's always nice to be, well, what if and what if not? The Joker passive skill, really laying it onto the fact that they took this hero from the Batman, aren't they? The Joker passive skill, when the troop led has less than 50% HP remaining, counterattack damage taken reduces by 12%. So every time you do a counterattack and your troops HP remaining, all troops as a whole, is below 50%. So you can literally watch on map and watch your health bar on the right side of your tank's little bubble drop. And when it drops below 50%, the middle section, any counterattack that occurs, you decrease damage by 12%. awesome little perk to have. And as always, upgrade conditions, hero rank up to major. I'm a captain. It's going to be a while before I get all of these things up to max. Yeah, I did that one. Alright, leadership medal, Snow Leopard with expertise. For every 1 Mafia faction hero deployed, troops damage dealt increased by 5%. Again, if you have 5, there's 25%. But Phoenix himself may not count. So even if you have 5, that might be 20%. And as always, to calculate, just take your damage of troop, increase by 0.05. Multiply by 0.05. If you want to find out the actual number, multiply your damage number from 1 troop and multiply by 1.05. That's your actual your damage dealt number, your actual number. Alright, so that's Phoenix. We're going to do Moriarty, another hero that I absolutely love. I was going to try and show off Lee. I don't have Lee. And I just realized there's a way for me to show him off. Moriarty. I can't pronounce some words. That's in the English dictionary. But it's one of those words that I've seen it. I'm just like, I know the definition of that, but I'm not going to know how to pronounce it. There's the hero faction marker. Shows what they're good against. To see what they're bad against, simply reverse the image. Research. This hero excels in speeding up tech research. I love him. The Godfather. Active skill. Damage. Deals damage to the target. Damage factor of 450. So every time this skill is activated, increased by 450. We have a report that actually shows the Godfather. So let's see if we can't notice the differences in combat log. Expand all. Where is the Godfather? Godfather. The Godfather actually does decent damage increase because of my counterattack. My normal attack is 9738 in HP loss. With Godfather, the lost HP was 27095. Why is there such a huge increase in that? Given that the Godfather pretty much only does I was on Moriarty. Yep. The Godfather does 450. This is why I hate factors, because there's no clear explanation. So if you actually go through the reports and figure stuff out, if you see the damage difference, you would assume that this is for every troop that is still alive in combat. Is that the case? Or is something else going on? But if that is the case, why was the number so huge? I do not think I had enough troops still alive to initiate in that attack to do so much damage with just a 450 increase in damage. So, what is going on? The thing is, I don't really like factors at all. They're difficult to explain, difficult to understand. They're there. The only thing that I can really say for certain is they do increase damage. A lot. They increase on whatever they're trying to affect, or they decrease in whatever they're trying to affect by quite a significant amount. So it is advised to get them as high as you can get them, as quickly as you can get them, especially if they're for combat and you're going to be trying to get combat ready. Free research is a universal effect skill, just like Phoebe does with all of the buildings in your city. He reduces research time by 60 minutes. So if I have something that says an hour and 1 minute research time, I could wait 1 minute. His little image will pop up. I click it or tap it if you're on mobile. I'm on Steam desktop, so I have a click option. You can tap his little emblem and the research is done. Saves you an hour of doing research. I freaking love it. Upgrade conditions, as always, hero rank up to major. Bodyguard passive skill. When the troop led by the hero has 70% or higher HP, all damage dealt is increased by 12%. Damage dealt in combat, 12%. Increases. But your hero has to have all of your troops 70% HP or higher in order for this skill to be in effect. Quick research. This one increases your tech research by 20%. So if you're spending an hour, if you're spending an hour on research itself, on just the research, it decreases it by 20%. That's 20 minutes. No, 60 minutes. Multiplied by 0.02. What is that? Incorrect. Because what you need to be doing is moving the decimal point 2 spaces, not 3. 2 spaces to the left, starting at the end of the number on the right side. Move the decimal point 2 spaces. So it would actually be 0.2. Multiplied by whatever your time is, 60 minutes. 60 times 0.2. There's your answer in decrease. If you want to find out the actual time, multiply 60 by 1.2. That's your actual time. Except, we're wrong in this again, because that would be an increase. So how do you find a decrease in things when you're using the whole number? You take the multiplication equation again, and at the end where you get your answer, you subtract. That's the best way to do it. For anybody who's doing it on paper, don't do anything fancy, because if these things already confuse you, mathematics is going to confuse you more, like it did me when I tried to do calculus. I passed that class, by the way. My teacher didn't like the way that I did things, but I passed that class. With expertise, crushing blow. When releasing the active skill to Godfather during combat, there is a 30% chance of casting the skill again. So this skill it applies itself to do a crushing blow, which increases damage heavily because it's a critical hit chance marker basically. So you do critical chance. But it also activates itself with a 13% activation chance. So you have For every crushing blow that occurs, you have a 30% chance after it occurs to cast it again. And as always, hero rank reaches general to activate the skill. You don't activate the skill, unlock the skill until general rank. That's annoying, I know, whatever. Another hero that I want to point out is this guy. He's got 2. Research Maniac. For the next 3 seconds, attack of troop led by the hero increases by 7.5 and defense by 7.5. There's our freaking percentages again. I hate percentages when trying to determine anything, but with this, it's actually pretty straightforward. For the next 3 seconds, attack of troop led by the hero increases by 7.5 and defense by 7.5. It's pretty straightforward. Like I've explained, if you want to figure out everything that you can, attack and defense increase, multiply whatever your troop defense is by, move the decimal point, 0.075. You have to add that third number or it's not going to give you a proper calculation. This guy is what I like. Citrines every day. Universal effect skill can get 25 free citrines at the trade center every day. Free citrines received per day, 25. So for every day, just like Cipher's skill, you get something as a gift. For him, it's citrines. He will literally give you free citrines a day. Increases research speed by 10%. Research speed increased 10% with generalist. I like this guy. He increases my research speed. Again, if I'm spending an hour on research, 60 minutes, he's going to decrease it by 6. So there's 54 minutes. But if I'm already spending 60 minutes on research, I can just click here at Moriarty, and it's done. Panacea, I don't know how to pronounce it. This active skill, Research Maniac, further reduces our damage taken by 5% for 3 seconds. Awesome. So if you, for the duration of 3 seconds, say in that time frame you received 100 damage, you're actually receiving 95 because he takes 5 off of that. Unlock after the hero reaches level 50 and breakthrough. Because I already have the rank Major, which is a prerequisite for this skill, I believe, I have to get up to level 50. Which I might be able to do. I like it when I'm right. Yep. Okay, so heroes, not that difficult to explain in theory. The problem is actually going through and finding things out. Your gatherers will increase speed. Your base speed is what it's trying to tell you. How do you find out your base speed? Well, you go over here, look at your tank, and figure out what it is. The problem is, it does not tell you. Or does it? No, doesn't look like it does. Does it? also check is this little handy dandy button right here. Go over to get, nope. But how do you know? You don't. You don't actually know what your base stat is. Except, what increases gathering? What are you actually increasing? You're increasing troop gathering? Because if that's the case, it would be 5. On the speed, it would be 10 on the speed. But, do those actually do anything? I know that there is a... Got a coin gathering speed bonus. Don't have anything more than that. So that is something I need to find and figure out, because it should tell you somewhere where it is. But it doesn't. Unless... First you can't. Nope. After this you can't. Nope. Information. Nope. Troops. Nope. There's no easy way to find out where that is, as far as I can tell. So, let's see here. You would think, like it does with your construction window, it would tell you. But it doesn't. Alright, that's the best explanation I have for heroes. Pretty much factors, percentages, and straight up telling you what it does come into play with heroes. There's not a lot to explain when it comes to heroes, it's confusing. And that's what led me to make this video. If there are any videos that you want explained, anything that you cannot find an answer to, or anything that just confuses you because the explanations you've already received have not helped you understand anything, I know this video didn't help much because there's not a lot of information freely given to explain hero skills when it comes to the factor part. If there's anything you want explained, shoot me a message. I will do my best to make a video, but keep in mind, we are on season 1. I don't have season 2, I don't have season 3, and I think there's even a season 4 and 5 of the game. Do not have it. Season 1 is where we're at. Season 1 is what we got. before I end this, I am going to explain stars, like I promised. You'll notice that I have some heroes at star 3. The reason they are at star 3 is because of one thing. Every full star, they will literally ask you for their own cards to be used, their own posters to be used. So you will not be able to progress past the star that is full. Say this was at 2 full stars, I would not be able to reach 2.5 stars until I found a poster with her to fill her criteria. The thing that I've been doing is I've been using these troops to level up my higher tier, my higher ranked heroes. That is why I've gotten him at 4 stars, because I was able to use somebody for his stars over and over again. And now I'm able to use anybody so long as they're at 3 stars. So it will always tell you, hey, I need somebody with 3 stars twice to reach 4 stars on the person you're trying to level up. It's pretty much like if you've got 2 of the same thing, you can use it to increase somebody. So there's that, kind of like there was a game I played not too long ago where you used dinos, and so long as they were level 16, you were able to put them together and make a level 17. It's pretty much what that is. You're just combining 2 of the same star level to make the next rank in star. That's all you're doing. And you can do that with pretty much any hero combination or any hero whatsoever. My Discord just went off and I don't want to look at it. Saint, was that you? I'm blaming Saint. So stars, pretty easy explanation. I focus on my orange heroes and sometimes my purple because I want them leveled up in stars. And stars pretty much are straightforward. I hate that I cannot level up anyone. I need another poster for you. You, I could level up if I had anybody at 3 stars. What you're essentially doing is increasing CP of the hero themselves, troop capacity that they can lead, attack and defense of the hero themselves. That's off the top of my head. Don't quote me on the attack and defense part. The other 2 I know for certain. There are a lot of heroes, guys. So it's best to go through and figure out which ones would best work for you. Play around with them. Figure out their equations of increase. Is this a long list that I'm clicking on? Not a long list. Like I said, there is a lot of heroes. Are those 2 heroes or the same hero? If it is the same hero, that means that after you reach max stars on the game itself, on the hero themselves, you might be able to level up into the next rank. So I'll be able to take this hero, make her purple. But if that was the case, why isn't her card right here in purple? If she reaches max, does that mean she automatically becomes an orange hero? Or do you have to combine 2 5-star heroes to make a gold? This is a theory. The game can do whatever it wants. I have no control over it. Neither do you. Neither does anybody but the people making the game, who made the game. I'm sure a player more experienced than me knows the answer to this, answer to a lot of things I left open for somebody to figure out. This is the best hero explanation I have, and I only made this video because it irritated me that I could not find a decent explanation. So I apologize for the lack of information and any misinformation I give out. Go through your heroes, look at their skills, figure out what's up, because they can be used for quite a number of things, depending on their combination. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here with this. If there is anything that you have a question about on the game, shoot me a comment. Say, hey, this is where I'm confused at. Tell me where to find it, the explanation of things, or tell me where to find whatever it is confusing you, because I may not see it in the game. I like information. So if you have a question, put in as much information as you have available to you. I will do everything I can to research and figure out what it is. Or if I already know what it is, I'll just do a quick little video and be like, hey, this is it. So yeah. Especially if you're in KN2 on planet 157, shoot me a message. Everybody else, shoot me a message. I like recording myself, apparently. I started this about 3 weeks ago, and for some reason I keep doing it. I'm going to be YouTube famous, y'all. I'm going to end it.